Everybody's trying to get their game going, right? Everybody wants to feel good. A lot of you are trying to lose weight. A lot of you are trying to exercise, but maybe a lot of you are also suffering with back pain. Maybe you've got a herniated disc like I do. Maybe you have sciatica, whatever it is. If you are looking for the temporary relief, and I'm talking about very quickly instant relief, I get on my inversion table when my back's out, and I'm telling you, I get that relief, and it's so amazing. It's a huge customer pick. So many, I can't even count the number of 5-star reviews over the years. It is the longest running single product that we sell here at HSN. 21 years. To me, that's unbelievable. I mean, if you've got 2 or 3 years in this business, you've done a great job. But for 21 years, guess what? These guys are doing something right. Why? Because they never quit. They never rest on it. There have been so many upgrades to this machine. Every time they find something that works better, they add it to the machine. Roger Teeter, his daughter Riley is with us, and you're gonna get to meet her in just a sec, and she does a wonderful job at showing you all the different things you can do. But I encourage you to watch the program. This comes, I know that just said 5-year warranty, but it's actually a 10-year warranty. So we gotta update that little piece of tape right there. We're doubling it up here today, and you won't find that anywhere else on the marketplace. When you look at the machine, it looks like a very simple machine, and it really is to get on and to utilize, but so much has gone into this machine to make it comfortable. Number one, actually, to make it safe. And I will tell you, before you ever get on any inversion table, please make sure that it's a Teeter. It's the most highly prized, most highly awarded, I mean, the most highly rated of any machine out there. And let me tell you, at 240 pounds, I'm not getting upside down on anything I don't trust, and I love my machine. I actually just bought a brand new one. I had my original one for 12 years. I just got a brand new one last year. We're gonna get to meet Riley in just a sec. Before we do that, I want you to listen to somebody who talks about how the inversion table has really changed their life. And if you're looking for relief, it's not in a bottle, it's right here. So take a listen to Horace, and we'll come right back and we'll meet Miss Riley.
I was always an active person. I've always been physical. To have that come to a screeching halt was something I really couldn't live with. Physically, mentally, and emotionally, I was totally a grumpy old man. When I got my Teeter, that's when it all changed for me. And the more I worked my back, the more relief my back gave me. And that's when I knew that this machine really works. It's so simple and yet so effective. If it wasn't for the Teeter, I wouldn't be the person I am today. It put the smile back on my face. If I was face to face with Roger Teeter, I would cry like a baby, because what he gave me was my life back. And I thank him. I thank him for that.
You can just tell me in person.
Oh, God. Thank you, sir. I didn't know you were going to be here.
I love my job, and it's because of testimonies like yours. I wrecked my back, and inversion changed my life. This is not a gimmick. We're not just selling product. We're selling a changed lifestyle.
Yes.
So many people have written off their ability to move freely because of old age. No, it's the long-term effects of gravity combined with lifestyle, posture, and a whole lot of other things. Teeter's a way to fight back against that.
I can't thank you enough.
Yeah, I love about Roger, he's always smiling. Because he's got a great job, because he loves what he does, and he's dedicated his life to this machine. Really quick, before Riley comes out, I want to talk about the offer today. Before we talk about anything else, we have the lowest price anywhere. We do this every single year, especially in the early part of the year, because we want everybody to get an opportunity to get some relief, some temporary relief from that back pain, without having to resort to other measures. And I am telling you, I am so committed to this machine. I love it. I use mine on a regular basis. It's a great stretch. It decompresses. It makes you feel good. It's adjustable. It goes up to 300 pounds, so you can get on it no matter how tall or small you are. Speaking of small, take a look at that price. Now, normally everywhere else you'll pay at least $450, $479. Today, we're $160 off that price at $319. If you want, you can break up the payments. You see that little blue bar down there that says FlexPay? $63.99 is your first monthly payment. I want you to get this home and try it. Just try it. If you've tried everything else and you're locked up, or you just can't move, or you're just like, oh, I gotta get some relief, please give this a try. It's science, and it really, really works. So $63.99 is your flex pay. We're gonna even ship it to you for free. We normally get a 5-year warranty. You're gonna get a 10-year warranty with this product, and you're gonna get it home, and you're gonna get on it. Everything that you need is included, how-to. It's very, very simple. You see our friend Matt there is already getting a great stretch. A lot of people incorporate it into their fitness routine. routine because they love to get a great stretch before they work out. Sometimes people do it before they go to bed. When they wake up in the morning, there's no bad time to do it. All the upgrades are there for you. The FlexTech, the technology into the bed, the easy reach handle, which I love. You know, in the old days, you had to bend down to get the handle. Now we've got the handle up so you don't have to bend over. Makes it very, very simple. Get this machine, try it out. Best price in America, best price anywhere, you're gonna love it. Let me introduce you to Riley Teeter. She's the daughter of Roger. Hi, Riley. I was so excited that I get to work with Riley today. Happy New Year to you, darling.
Yeah, same to you.
You know, it's a new year. And everybody out there, for most of you, and I know so many of my friends, I've had buddies that played ball or whatever, or golfers, they love this machine and they rely on it as a part of it's a part of your life.
Yeah.
And once you include it in your life, you'll be amazed at the results that you get. And you have absolutely nothing to lose but that lousy, crummy, nagging pain when you use this. It's a safe machine. It's a highly recommended machine by everybody.
21 years. 21. I mean, there's been thousands of reviews over the years, but now we're at hundreds. You can read them. I think it's a 4.8 overall.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just really, it works and it's natural. It's non-invasive. You are going to the source of the ache and bringing real relief. And that's really what matters. I mean, so many options when you have back pain, they deal with symptoms, right? Your back is still screaming. You just can't hear it. And that really isn't getting you to a better place in your life. And this is something where you rotate to a gentle angle. You don't have to go to full inversion. It uses your body weight to pull traction. In fact, we have an animation that we'll show you in a bit that'll show you exactly how it's interacting with your back to target the back pain. Because it really is amazing that you can just lay here, completely relaxed, for 3 to 5 minutes, stretch out that spine, and you're gonna target back pain in 4 different ways. And here we see it. You're rotating, you're using your body weight, it's elongating the spine. That's stretching and relaxing tense muscles. If you have muscle spasm, muscle tension, this is a great way to relieve that. And as you relax, your spine will actually stretch. Now that's the secret. That's really how we're targeting the back pain, because we're realigning the spine, we're decompressing the discs, and that rejuvenates the discs because they don't have a blood supply of their own. They wait to absorb moisture. That's how they get the nutrition that they need to be healthy. But it also gets them to their full height capacity to take the pressure off of nerve roots. And it's just that simple. You are literally going to where it hurts, and you're bringing real relief.
That little, you know, that little shooting pain that you get, I get it. Like if I do something, you know, I move improperly, I get that, you know, that little jolt, that's nerve pain. And I love that you explained that, and you talked to me about it a little bit before the show, because a lot of people don't even understand what's going on in there. It's very, very complicated with nerves and muscles and spine and everything in there. We make it simple. Let's talk about the FDA, because that's important.
The Teeter is the only inversion table on the market that is FDA registered, and it lists 10 different conditions that the Teeter is able to assist with, of overarching back pain, right? So that's huge in of itself. But conditions like sciatica, that is a pinched nerve. You can feel that running down your leg. Spinal degenerative joint disease, that's another name for osteoarthritis. Spinal curvature due to tight muscles, so any misalignment. In fact, and most of the time you're going to a specialist like a chiropractor for that particular issue. Muscle tension, and who doesn't have muscle tension, right? You can't.
Only every day.
Yes, exactly. Herniated disc, which is another pretty major condition. Degenerative disc disease, spinal stenosis, facet syndrome, and muscle spasm. I mean, that's a huge number of conditions. And in fact, most of the time, when you have one, you have another. I mean, you usually have 2 or 3 on that list, right?
And you know, when you think about it, we are so highly regulated in TV shopping. You know, it's that to get that many levels of recommendation for people and to tell people who may have all those conditions that there's a possible answer, and it doesn't necessarily come in a bottle. It comes right to you like a piece of fitness equipment. Although all you need to do on this is get on it and just close it on your ankles and just slowly start to teeter. And we'll show you how it works. Our testimonial lines are always open. If you want to call, if you have any questions for myself or Riley, we'd love to hear from you. Shipping and handling is free on this, so let's get started with it. I love, first of all, when you get it,
I know.
It's not hard to put, it takes no time to put together.
Yeah,
it's mostly pre-assembled.
We had a bunch of callers in our last show, and this woman was in her later years, and she's like, I put this thing together myself. It took like just a few minutes. And that's really because of my dad. We used to have you putting together all the different parts, and he's like, I hate this. This is not, people with back pain don't need this. So that's something special that we did, and it makes it so much easier. So what I just did is adjusted it to my height. That's the first thing you do, and you can see it on the product. Set to your height, set the angle, lock the ankles. So you can set the angle, set it to any degree of inversion that you feel comfortable with. It's upgraded this particular version with the easy angle, so you can see it's color-coded. Just slide it to the spot that you want. That's an upgrade that you're getting today. You're also getting this great easy reach handle. Yeah. This is something that we designed for chiropractors' offices and doctors' offices, and it prevents the need to, like you were saying, your old one, you had to bend down all the way down.
Your dad thought of everything. It's like, because that was, I'd be like, oh, I gotta get on it. And so he's like, why don't we raise that bar up so they just clock? And I love how it locks and clicks versus the knob you used to have.
Yeah, and this is really high grade steel. This is stainless steel. It has little teeth on the inside. It's actually a double lock system, so there's a gravity fed lock, so there's 2 security measures. Plus you're getting these Ergo Embrace that wrap around the ankles. This was 3 generations of tooling to get this comfortable.
And let me tell you something, this is a huge, huge difference. Huge, huge upgrade. So I have a friend, my buddy Kyle, who came to visit me not too long ago, and I gave him some, you know what, because he bought a cheaper inversion table. And he said, I love it. He goes, but my ankles, I can't hang on it. It hurts my ankles. And I'm like, you don't have a teeter. I'm like, they put so much effort into even, because you know, your weight is gonna be held on, you know, by your ankles, which is fine, but you want this to be comfortable. It's this beautiful, flexible material that just cozies up to your ankle, and it feels great when you hang upside down.
And it's not just that, it's the different features, like we have this dial here that makes sure that it gets secured at the smallest part of your ankle, and that allows you to offset some of the weight also to the top of your foot. So all of this is very specifically engineered to help you get the benefits, because this is what we do. I mean, all these other products out there are me too, because we've been doing this for so long and we've gained in popularity, but this is what we do. This is my father's passion because of his own experience with back pain, and he's an engineer, so everything's really well thought out to improve the experience, even down to what I'm gonna show you right now, which is the precision balancing. So when I set my weight, or my height, sorry, I put half my body weight on one side of the pivot point and half my body weight on the other, so that this works, I mean, like a teeter-totter, which is really funny that Roger Teeter.
It's funny that your dad's name's Teeter and he made a teeter-totter.
Exactly. So it's just the weight displacement of my arms going over my head that rotates the table. Now, this particular unit for HSN is upgraded today with the larger handles. So if you don't feel comfortable with that, you can walk yourself into and out of inversion. These are kind of like training wheels on a bicycle. They give you that extra guidance and support. We also included for this show the traction handles. So these allow you, which is really cool, to reach up. And what I'm doing when I press on them is I'm adding manual traction. So I push, and you can actually see that the table rotates more because I'm elongating the spine and more of the weight is moving headward. And so you're actually stretching the spine manually. And this allows you to get a much deeper stretch, and especially if you are using the lumbar bridge. So what we found, and I think it's pretty obvious, is most people have their pain in their lower back. That's really the part of your body that's carrying most of the weight in the spine. So we added this lumbar bridge. This is something patented and exclusive to Teeter. You can set it anywhere here. And when you use this in combination with the traction handles, what it allows you to do, and especially if you set it down low, is it squares the hips. So if you go into a chiropractor's office, one of the first things they do is lay you down and they look at your leg length. And it's not because your legs are actually different lengths, but it's because your hips get twisted. Like if you have a wallet in one pocket, if you tend to stand one-legged or cross your legs when you're sitting, this twists the hips, and they're the foundation of the spine. And so everything compensates because your head wants to be square on top. So if your hips are out of alignment, your spine will actually curve to compensate. And so that can cause back pain. Any misalignment is gonna cause back pain eventually. So getting your hips squared and straightening out the spine and getting back to that good posture is critical to avoiding pain and getting rid of pain.
And what I love about it is it's instant. I mean, that's the thing for me is that, you know, for many, many years, I saw chiropractors, I saw medical doctors, I saw when I first hurt myself, it was actually when I was a very young boy, actually I was 14 or 15, I was playing football and I got tackled and dumped on my back, and I remember that's the first time I felt a burning sensation in my lower back. Little did I know that that was actually nerve pain from a disc that had been compressed, and I was a kid, you know? So you think, I mean, this could happen to anybody, but what happened is it manifested and it came out later. When I told you that I played ball later and I heard it, then I went off a high diving board and I heard it again. Anytime that I kind of wrenched that spine a little bit in a sort of an abrupt fashion, it would trigger, and I'd go through 3 days of you know what. I mean, it was terrible. In fact, I hurt my back it was about a year and a half ago, which is what got me to buy my new table, because I'm like, I want the brand new one, I'm gonna do it. But I had x-rays, I did the whole thing, and the doctor told me the same thing he told me before, which is, he goes, it's herniated, but you don't need surgery. It's not that bad. It's just uncomfortable as all heck. And I was like, what do I do? And of course, what do? Prescribe everything I didn't want to do.
That deals with symptoms, right? Like it's not helping you get better.
And plus, I often worry, what is that doing to the rest of my body? You know, because
side effects.
It's not just focused, it does it for everything. And I didn't want that. I wanted to get right to the pain. And that's what this does. If you have pain, lower back, mid back, whatever it is, if you just want a good stretch, if you want to include it in part of your workout routine, which is ideal. I mean, what do you do before a workout? You stretch out your muscles. This stretches everything out. And when you think about what time does to us, we live on a planet, so you know we have gravitational pull. So gravity brings us down to the ground. It smooshes us, which is why a lot of people get shorter as they get older. This is a way to elongate the spine, allow that moisture to get back into the discs and into all the surrounding tissue. You're better at explaining that than me, but I don't care. All I know is that it feels really, really good, and it's quick. And you know, when you got to go to the kids, 3 to 5 minutes. When you got to go to a kid's soccer game, or you're a grandparent and you're supposed to go pick somebody up, and you're like, I can't today. Why? My back is out again. Nobody wants to live with that. It makes you feel like you're aging more than you have to. And by the way, any age, you know, if you've got some sort of an issue, you can try this. There's a weight limit on it, but most people fit right inside there, up to 300 pounds. You can get on this and you can fit on it. Pat, what have we got coming up next? Is it Dr. Fryer? Should we listen to them?
Yeah, let's listen to them.
Okay, so Dr. Fryer, Dr. Long, I'm gonna give you some more information. Professional doctor's gonna tell you a little bit more about why you need this.
So when you decompress, there is a lengthening of the spine. And by doing so, with a greater disc height, you've got more room for the nerves, there's less compression with the facet joints, and the spine is just much happier.
For the past 53 years, I've been a neurosurgeon with a major interest in chronic pain and dealing with many patients with back pain. Most patients tell me if they use their Teeter inversion table on a regular basis, they simply feel much better. No one has to do anything to you, and I think it's a very natural way to deal with the problem.
You know, I love listening to these gentlemen talk, because it reinforces everything that I believe. And you know, it's funny when you're younger, you have a tendency to just buy into anything anybody tells you, because you're so desperate to get something to help. And so you're like, okay, if I take this, okay, if I try that. And you know what? Nothing worked for me until I got this. And it makes me upset, because for about 20 years of my life, I never had access to this. And then I met you guys. Actually, I met your dad first before I met you, because you were probably teeny tiny. And I met your dad, and everything made sense to me.
You know, and this is not new. Okay, so my dad invented this particular method of doing this, but it was started by Hippocrates in 400 BC. I mean, it's carried on that long because it works, and it's sort of common sense, right? Like if there's compression in the spine, which is the root cause of the pain, you decompress it. The discs are avascular, they don't have a blood supply, so you injure them, it takes a long time for it to heal. So by decompressing and allowing them to absorb the moisture, you are just simply letting the body help itself. We are not getting into crazy stuff. We know that The surrounding moisture is what the discs need. We let them get that throughout the day instead of waiting until we're in bed at night. And this is actually gonna show you the big difference between being in bed at night and being on the teeter. So there was a study done by Nachemson. A pressure sensor was surgically implanted in the third lumbar disc, and they compared different positions. We all know bending over is hard on your back.
Sure.
That's why they tell you how to lift properly. But here's the thing, sitting, this is why they're calling it the new smoking, is because the pressure in your spine increases so dramatically, and just, it's huge if you're not in perfect posture.
And that's, look, that's the computer, that's at your desk.
Yes, I mean, this is why back pain's epidemic, is you've taken a load off, but you've dumped all that pressure into the spine. Now here's the thing, when you go to bed at night, the pressure in your spine doesn't get to zero. It still has about the equivalent of 25% standing body pressure, and it's not weight, it's the construction of the spine. There's hundreds of muscles and ligaments that hold the spine in background compression. So this study said to get the pressure in the spine to at or near zero, you need to pull 60% of your body weight. And that's what we're doing with the teeter table, is we're rotating, we're using your body weight, the same body weight that's compressive when upright, to stretch out that back. So those discs can simply absorb the nutrition and then rehydrate so that they can get to their full height capacity. And that, let's look at the spine real quick. Because this is grand central station for your entire body. Your brain's up here, the spinal cord runs down, and then all these nerve roots are coming out. Now the discs themselves not only are avascular, don't have a blood supply, but they also don't have a big nerve supply. There's a few nerves maybe in the outer area here, but these are the nerves that are really bugging you. And what happens is this disc gets injured, it gets thin, it gets old.
So mine's 5, so is that me right there? Which one?
It's down here, yeah.
Oh, it's down there, okay.
And
So yeah, look, and that's exactly where I am.
That's what you look like.
Yeah. Right
And so
there.
you have this blowout, and what happens is then we're touching onto this nerve here, and that's when the pain is shooting down. And so these discs, you know, are because they're like sponges, they're really victims to the body postures that we saw in Nachemson, to the sports that we're doing. Like, you know, you get hit and they get a little fissure in them. And maybe you're okay because you don't feel it. It doesn't, like I said, have a nerve receptor in the disc itself, but as it gets more and more damaged and eventually we have a blowout or it gets so thin that we pinch on this nerves, that's when you have this catastrophic moment. Like I hear people say, I was brushing my hair, or I went to lift the mattress to make, or the bedspread to make the bed, and boom, my back was blown out, and it's like.
You want to hear something funny? So I skied many of you saw my Facebooks, I skied all week last week with my 18-year-old son and all his boys, so we were all hanging out, we were rough and tumble. And you want to know the only time my back bothered me was when I was wrestling with Danny. It had nothing to do with skiing, but the little punk comes up to me and he's like doing this with me, and all I did was just like come at him, and I was like, oops, and I'm like, son of a, and the next day it was a little sore, but you know what? It's all changed. When you get this, like you're maintaining your back. You're taking care of your back on a regular basis. So I'm positive to myself that that's what's helping me prevent a lot of the stuff, because I'm staying loose and lubricated.
I want to talk about that because that's huge. What you're talking about is exactly what the U.S. military found with 6 years evaluation of our product. In fact, Teeter is the only brand that they will use because we're the only one that meets all the safety certifications. But what they did was a 6-year evaluation with the troops in basic training, and they had groups that inverted and groups that didn't invert. And the ones that inverted were less likely to get the compression fatigue injuries, because you're exactly right. You do something, you feel it go, and it's the next day you're in agony because that misalignment in the spine, it splints. The muscles go, whoa, 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 what's this vertebrae doing over here? And they seize up and they splint. You get the muscle spasm, the aching. And if you had popped that vertebrae back into alignment right away, like if you had jumped onto the inversion tables that they found, then and that realignment negates the whole process of going through the pain and the recovery time. It's huge.
Yeah, because you're getting right to the root of the problem, literally, and you're addressing it right away rather than waiting. A lot of us sit there and we're like, oh, you know, now I can't do anything for a week, and essentially it's just sitting there and swelling and doing all the things you don't want it to do. What I love about it, and I'll just say this before we get into our next thing, is the fact that, like I said, first of all, it's quick. You get that instant, and you know, temporary relief, for some people lasts longer, whatever it is. Mine's gone until I screw up again, and then I'm fine. But I like to use mine on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But when you think about the treatment for most injury, there's a lot of generic treatment.
Right.
That you either take something or whatever, and it just makes pain go away after time, but then you have to ingest something and it goes through your system, blah, blah, blah. And they use, you know, one thing to cover all these different things, when this is completely directed toward taking care of the problem.
Yeah.
It's not like a mask of like, well, take this and it gets rid of all your problems. No, I want something that goes directly to the problem, and that's what this does.
Yeah, and it's not just going to the problem, it's taking care of the health of the entire spine. I mean, you are helping to get your posture better, relieve stress, you're getting your flexibility back, the shock absorption, you're avoiding future injury in the rest of the joints. I mean, even things that you do that aren't medication, the lack of movement in your body creates other problems when you're in pain. So the ability to relieve the pain and get back to your daily living, make sure that you're not getting into this sedentary lifestyle where you are now in a downward cycle, the muscles are atrophying, they're getting weaker, and those muscles are critical for supporting the spine. So it really is important to properly take care of your body. And it's people who, again, I really encourage you, go read the reviews. There's hundreds of them. You're going to find a story. And it's athletes. Like if you start Googling an athlete, major basketball player, everybody loves him.
Everybody, golfers.
Just released a video, and there's the inversion table right in his gym. I mean, because athletes get it, people get it. You want to be healthy. People talk about cardio health, they talk about muscle strength, but it's the joints, isn't it? I mean, it's athletes, it's the joint injury that takes them out of the game. It's when you get older, it's joint pain that limits your ability to be active. So taking care of your joints is critical, but there's very few things that really do it, right? And especially very few things that you can do it in your own home.
At any time that you need it.
Yeah, in 3 to 5 minutes.
That's huge, because how many times have you hurt yourself on a Saturday? And you're like, what do I do? I can't go to a doctor. Do I really want to go to a walk-in clinic and sit there in pain for 2 hours and wait? No. Get on the table. I'm telling you, this thing works. It's unbelievable. The first time I got out of it, I was like, oh my gosh, where have you been all my life? It's unbelievable. It really is life-changing. And you could see with Horace in the beginning there, the emotion that people get, because if you've suffered with back pain, it's one of the most debilitating things. I mean, think about your back. It's unlike any other part of your body with its concentration of nerves and tissues and all that. I mean, it's
the spinal cord.
It's everything, right? It's the center of your body. It's everything. It's so important to take care of it and to do it the proper way. And no other table has the ratings that this has. No other table is even in the same class. You'll notice that in the 21 years you've been here, we ever brought in a competitor?
And you do it with everything else. Like you have different vacuum cleaner lines.
We offer lots of choices. We've never found anything that can compare to this.
And same with the U.S. military. We're the only one for them. I mean, and the only one that goes into doctors' offices. And we're the only one that's FDA registered. We're the only one that can say that we are registered for these 10 conditions. I mean, that's huge. We're the only one that's UL safety certified. Here's the FDA conditions. Back pain, sciatica, that's that nerve pain. Sciatica specifically is in your lower back, but you can have nerves pinched all throughout your back, sometimes radiating pain down your arms. Spinal degenerative joint disease, that's osteoarthritis. Spinal curvature due to tight muscles, muscle tension, herniated discs, degenerative disc disease, spinal stenosis, facet syndrome, and muscle spasm. But I think what you were talking about earlier about, we're gonna listen to a testimonial soon from Nancy, and she's talking about freedom. And I think that's probably the biggest thing as you read through the testimonials, is people talking about freedom. Because when you have back pain, you either don't have it and you're avoiding activities because you don't wanna get it, or you have it and you simply cannot do it. And I think that's the most powerful thing, is when you have a teeter in your home, you have a spot where you can always go to get that natural relief that's taking care of it today, but also caring for the spine in the long run.
You're taking care of yourself, and you can do it any time that you need to. When it's in the other room or wherever you have it, wherever you park it, it's always there when you need it, versus doctors and everything else where you've got to wait and all that, and it just makes it even worse. We want you to listen to Nancy. Nancy, we were just talking about that. Nancy has got some great information to share with you. When we come back, we'll talk about our offer again, and then I'm getting on it because I love this thing. It's great. Wakes you up in the morning, makes you feel great. Let's take a listen to Nancy.
My back started to really bother me. I don't want to go through life being less and less of myself. I want to be able to do everything and anything that I want to do. The first time that I laid on the teeter, I got on there, locked my ankles in, laid back, and it was just a relief. I knew it was going to work for me. It's beautifully engineered. It doesn't take up very much space in your house. It's very easy to schedule it into your life. You lay down, you relax, you can meditate for a few minutes, you get off, and you're a new person. The biggest difference the teeter table has made in my life is that I have physical freedom. I'm probably really boring because when anyone complains to me about their back, I say, well, have you tried a teeter table? It helped me so much you have no idea.
We have so many testimonials. We actually have to skim some of them off because we have so many people that are so happy with this. Read them online. If you're on the fence at all, please go and read what folks have to say about this, okay? It's ridiculous. I mean, 4.8 stars. I mean, there's been thousands and thousands and thousands of reviews. We have to update them from time to time when we bring a new version in or if there's an upgrade, whatever, so they start all over again. But read the ones that we have there. Really quickly, let me talk about the price because obviously, you know, it's an investment for you, but think about it. I mean, what is having that pain go away worth to you? What is being able to play with your grandkids or your own kids or being able to go play tennis or play golf? What is that worth to you? $300 is nothing. It's the lowest price that we carry here. It's the lowest price anywhere in the world for you to be able to get this product. It's free shipping and handling. We'll ship it out to your house. You have 30 days in which to try it out, and I encourage you to take advantage of that. For whatever reason, if you're one out of the whatever that says it just didn't work for me, that's fine. This company has been around for a long time because they care about the customers, and they want you to be successful and happy, and they want you to be pain free. So try it out. The monthly payments are only $63.99 if you use your HSN credit card. You'll even get a discount if you get a brand new card today, but you can use your credit card as well. Get it home and try it out. All the latest upgrades are built into this. We're gonna actually take a second here and show you all the different things that are built into your table that don't come with every single table. We have a lot of extras that are included in this. The extra large handles, a lot of the other things that Riley's gonna talk about are included in this. So you're really getting the #1 machine out there at the lowest price. $479 is what it's available for in most other places. It's a brand new year. We do this every year where we bring this out at a real low price because we want people, word of mouth is huge with this product. I can't tell you how many of my friends own this product, right? And they're just like, oh my gosh, that thing is just ridiculous. I love it. I would pay millions of dollars for this stinking thing. And for $300, they absolutely love it. So let's show everybody the table because you guys have really upgraded it from year to year.
Yes, so this is a new model. In fact, this is our FitSpine. And what we did is HSN customers were saying, we want a more comfortable bed, and we didn't want to put foam on it because your body sinks into foam. And remember, the whole secret on why this works is the decompression. You need to stretch and elongate. So if you're sinking into foam, you're not getting that full stretch. So how did we do it? We took the frame up off the steel here, so it's off the steel on the back, and we put these 8-point floating suspension system. And there's little balls in there, and it allows it to move and flex with you. So you get this softer surface without losing that decompressive slide and surface that you need to get the benefit. So that's a huge upgrade. But we've also included all the features that really help you have a better experience and enhance the benefits. The biggest one being this easy reach handle. This is all stainless steel. It's incredibly engineered, aerospace engineered. It has little teeth on the inside that kind of grab as you close it, little micro adjustments. And then it has a secondary gravity fed lock. So this is a double lock system. You're getting the Ergo Cups, they wrap around. So when these are closed, these are like almost like having boots on, they wrap around. And that helps displace the weight of your body as you're inverting, makes them the most comfortable ankle supports on the market. You have the ankle comfort dial that goes up or down depending on your shoe size or foot size to make sure this is closing at the smallest part of the ankle. You're getting the upgraded easy angle strap so that you can pre-select the maximum angle of inversion using color code guide. You're getting the lumbar bridge. This is a huge feature if you have lower back pain. This helps you square the hips so that if you are somebody that's been told your hips are commonly out of alignment, or you can feel it even, like if you have that low back pain, a lot of times it is based in the pelvis. Maybe you have a wallet that you keep in one side. It's always like when you sit down, that's pushing your back out of alignment, or you sit cross-legged all the time, high heels, any of those things really impact your hips. So we square them, which are the foundation of the spine, and then this helps stretch and elongate the rest of the spine so that that natural realignment just happens in a few minutes. You're getting the acupressure nodes. So these are removable. And you can select any spot here on the bed, and you line it up with that tight knot, right?
Right.
I get them so bad in my right shoulder because I am at my desk 8 hours a day using that mouse, and this whole shoulder goes bad. I line it up with the top of my shoulder here, and you get 8 of them. There's 4 different heights. You get 2 of each height. You line it up, and it's like that shiatsu style massage, right? Yeah. So we have all these features that are really helping. Oh, and I forgot the traction handles. These are my dad's favorite. I forgot 2 of them. Good grief, this thing's got so many. I'm forgetting them.
And they're included. They're not included in all of them.
No,
but today they are.
So our basic model inversion table is $329. The fact that you're getting all these upgrades at $319 is crazy. That's why I'm forgetting them. I can't believe they're all on here.
Yeah.
So that's showing the traction handles. So this allows you to add manual traction at any angle of inversion. Because your ankles are secured there, when you reach up and push on the handles, it actually creates traction in the spine to further stretch. When combined with the lumbar bridge, you really get that nice deep stretch in the lower back.
So good.
And then the larger handles here, which allow you to walk yourself into and out of inversion. So it's got everything. It's 85% pre-assembled.
Yep.
This sucker also folds up. Most other inversion tables out there in the market, you have to take them apart if you want to fold them up.
Yep.
You rotate it opposite from use, and then you just close it up like this. And it's like an oversized ironing board. You can put it behind a couch or anything,
you can put it behind a door. You can put it anywhere
that
you want.
And then it's ready to go in a few seconds. I will say that most people leave it put together because you're jumping on it. I mean, here's the thing. You use it when your back's bothering you, right? So you're a periodical user.
I use it. I probably use it in a month. I'll probably use it. I use it like 10 times in a month.
Okay, yeah.
Mine's more of a maintenance thing, but I also will like, if some days I can't get a good stretch, I get on it then as well.
Yeah.
I have everybody that comes to my house that sees it has to get on it.
Yeah, I know.
They're like, oh my gosh, I wanted to try one of those things. I'm like, wow, this is so cool. I'm like, trust me, it's more than cool. But they love it.
Do you know how often I come home and mine's missing out of my bedroom because my husband has like lent it? I'm like, seriously, we have to keep a spare for those moments. I know. But I use mine before bed because I get so tense, like I said, from sitting at my desk, and that stretch out before bed. I don't have back problems. I do get headaches, and this helps me with my headaches. But it's the release of all that tension before you go to bed. But really, if you have one of the 10 conditions that the FDA is registered this product for, you have sciatica, you have herniated disc, you have any of those, I'm gonna say to you, my recommendation is frequently throughout the day. Use it after work, use it before bed, 3 to 5 minutes. And remember, all we're doing is we're giving the back the chance to help itself. When you get the pressure off the spine, so when you go to bed at night, you still have about 25% standing body pressure on your back because of the muscles and ligaments. When we invert, that pressure gets to 0. So in just a few minutes, the discs are able to absorb moisture, and that moisture is what they need to stay healthy. So you're simply giving your back the chance multiple times throughout the day to get what it needs to function at its best. So are you ready to get on?
And a very safe machine. And I'm gonna get on it now. I told you before, I'm 6'3". I'm probably about 235. My weight range is 5 pounds either way, but you set it very simply. There's a thing that says number 1, set the height, and it's right on there, okay?
So I'm 5'7". This is how fast it was to adjust between you and me. And then here you just open. Do you want I'm gonna put the tether strap on.
You can, so you don't have to if you don't want to. I go total inversion. I can't. I just don't want anything to fall off here.
Yeah, the mic packs make it difficult. So you don't have to go to full inversion. I also go to full inversion because I just like that extra stretch. But to get all the benefits that we're talking about, you need to go about to the angle of the rear legs. But the fact that we include the traction handles means you can go to a shallower angle and add that manual decompression through pushing on the traction handles and get all of the benefits.
It's just ridiculous.
Isn't it crazy? Like literally,
We don't even talk about what it does to your head. You get this incredible rush of blood to your head. It feels fantastic. It's like a cleansing thing. And I like I said, I usually do it for like 2 to 3 minutes.
Yes.
Because you're not going to sit here for 30 minutes and do this.
Well,
you don't have to. You don't have to.
And once the tank is filled, you don't have to keep filling.
And your body is so ready for it. It just, those discs just soak it up. It's just crazy.
Absolutely. And I love that you're bringing up that circulation benefit because, normally your heart has to work pretty hard to bring the blood up to the upper body, but your brain consumes 25% of your oxygen. And people will get concerned, what about all the blood to the brain? The first couple times, yes, as you train the baroreceptors in your neck, you might feel more pressure, but after you get accustomed to it, you get it just feels good. Like you get this rosy glow. Colleen calls it a facial from the inside.
Totally is. It
right?
totally is,
It really is a good feeling.
And you know what's wonderful is that you can see just by using my own body weight in my arms, I'm moving that weight from front to back. So that's how it teeters. And you can see just by moving my hands, I could do that, and there's nothing shy. You just take your time when you're doing it. When you first start out, you may only want to go like I'm going, which is not all the way into inversion, just to get used to the feeling of being sort of upside down and reversed a little bit. But it wasn't very long before I went all the way because for me, I feel the best result when I'm all the way over. But you get results no matter how far back you are. You get great results. I just have gotten used to it, and I love it. And I sit there and I do the twisting, I do all that stuff. Because I imagine in my brain the spine and what it's doing in there, and I'm thinking, okay, it's stretching this way. Now I'm giving it. I'm basically oiling it up. You know what I mean?
You can feel it going. I feel mine go. It kind of is stretching out. And I'm the same way. I go to full inversion. I will just do like fingers down the spine and hear everything like pop, pop, pop.
You got these nodes like right in my shoulder. That feels good too. I don't even think about the nodes. I just get in there and do my thing.
Right. Yeah.
But I love the fact, and I think I have my 2 nodes right down where the disc is. It's a little like somebody puts their thumbs in there. If you get a massage, it feels so good.
Right.
That's what it feels like. And you can see I'm still carrying on a perfect conversation. I'm not out of breath. This is not an exercise machine per se. Okay, so you don't have to be like some athlete to get on this.
You don't have to change into special clothes. You don't have to carve out 30 minutes. This is 3 minutes of stretching. And it's unlike stretching that you would do on the floor or anything like that because it's decompressive. It's like opening up all those joints.
I'm getting right now, I'm getting this.
Yeah,
you get that.
That's why
tingle.
I do it before bed. Because it's like, that post-massage feeling where you're like, oh, and you got to walk out to the counter and you got to pay and then you got to get in your car and then you got to drive home.
I'm fairly sure I'm taller.
Blah, blah, blah. This is what you do before bed.
Matt,
and you
I look taller, don't I?
And roll into bed.
Your dad talks about that. He says you actually, when you think about it, because of gravity and everything we talked about in compression, your body does actually compress a little bit. I had an uncle that I swear was like 3 inches shorter from by the time he got from 60 to the time he got 75.
Well, we have an aging spine animation that's talking exactly about that because we do lose height. We lose height daily, which is interesting, but we also lose height over our lifetime. And this is showing that as you get older, the discs, they get thinner. And because the discs are thinner, that's predominantly where the height loss is. And of course, you can see the older gentleman's figures change because think of a column of clay. It has the same mass. You pat it down, it bulges out in the center. But really what we're seeing is because those discs are thinner, you're losing the mobility of the spine. That's where you're not able to do the activities that you want to do. You can't play golf anymore. You can't bend down anymore. And this isn't going to keep you at 20 years young, right? I mean, nothing can do that, unfortunately, but it is going to help you live your best life. It's going to keep you active. I mean, my dad's 82 this year.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
And it's like he's water skiing, he's snow skiing, and he's teaching my kids.
This is a guy that's over 80 years old. I want you, can you do that at over 80? Now, of course, Roger is an incredible person and stays fit and does everything else and eats well and all that stuff. But the spine is the spine, and it's a victim of all the circumstance and physical activity and things and accidents and things we've been through our lives. Doesn't matter. You could be the best athlete in the world and be in a bed because you can't get up because your back hurts. And trust me, I know more guys like that are really good athletes. Like for instance, I mean, I'm very athletic. I'm not quite 60, but I'm getting up there in the 50s. But I will tell you, I skied this last trip That's probably the best I've skied in years.
Yeah.
And I am convinced this has something to do with it.
Well, and there's all these golf
because,
studies that talk about your golf game because of the rotation.
Yeah, so
and you
here's
get the
golf. You know how bad that is. But think about skiing. I'm basically bopping up and down on my spine.
Yeah, it's brutal.
For 6 hours
and
a day.
Side to side, right?
And not even,
it's brutal.
and no issue whatsoever.
Yeah. And you have a herniated disc. That's the thing. And that's my dad doing those activities. And he was in debilitating pain.
I did not ski like I do before I had this. There's no, I'm convinced, because I'm like, what have I done that's different? I haven't really, my body's type hasn't really changed. I'm pretty much within the same height and weight I've been in for the last 30 years. Nothing's changed. What is happening? Well, you're getting older. And as you get older, as we said, you need a little extra help. You need something that's gonna help to sort of reverse a lot of the things you do during the day, right? Maybe you're in construction and you're in your 50s and you're like, you know, this job is just tough. You need this. You need to get on this. If you're a mom or a grandparent and you're just lifting your kids is difficult for you, right? Because you gotta get in that weird position. You need to be able to stretch that back out, and this is the only way that I know to do it, and it's the only name that I would trust. Okay. And let me tell you, I don't think there's a host here that doesn't own one of these. There's not many employees that don't have this. 21 years, it's the longest running single product that we carry here at HSN. That's ridiculous. And I don't care if it's us or our sister station QVC. Ask them, well, you know, what's a long running product? They're gonna say 2 or 3 years. That's a great run before it goes to retail. And then you never see it, you know, usually on shopping channels. This just, because this has such a great story to tell, you need to be here and your dad to talk about it, you know?
Well, I mean, the fact that they keep bringing us back says it works, you know? And we did go to retail. It is out there. We do give our best value here. But the fact is, when you have back pain, you don't have options. And so being a product that gives people options is what gives us our staying power. The fact that not only do we give them options, but we solve the problem for them. And the reviews. I mean, I think really a lot of products died when reviews came out because the truth was told. Like, you couldn't spin a story that wasn't true. The reviews tell everything. You go there, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of reviews, nearly every single one of them a 5-star, talking about they had given up, they were in debilitating pain, they weren't sleeping. This has given them their life back. And what's amazing to me is how often they say, I watched your show 7, 8, 10 times. I've been watching it for years. And I finally tried it. And the difference, it's accurate. I mean, it does what we say it does, or we wouldn't still be here.
It's an amazing product, and you need to try it. If you are on the fence right now, I encourage you to bump yourself over and try it out. You have 30 days in which to try it and see if you get great relief and great results from it. We have another a doctor that we'd like you to hear from, and then maybe we'll check in with Matt, and Matt can kind of show us some of the different things you can do when you get a little more advanced on it. This is Dr. Matto. Take a listen to Dr. Matto. We'll come back. We'll talk about the offer again, and then we'll check out and see what Matt's up to. Take a listen.
Pain that I was experiencing was all-encompassing. It was very discouraging for me. And that's when I really became my own advocate. I figured no one's going to care about my back pain as much as me. And that's when I came across the Teeter Inversion table. The anatomy, the physiology, the research, it just all made sense. It was simple. And the first thing I noticed when I got off my Teeter Inversion table was like, wow, this is great. That really, you know, it stretched it out. And I really noticed a big difference that something is happening here. I use my Teeter every day. I stretch, I listen to a little music, I breathe. It's something I look forward to. It makes me feel good. I love my Teeter. It's one of the best investments I've ever made.
All right, so is it worth the $63 to try it? I mean, just try it, please. I mean, I'm more passionate about this, I think, than any other product that I have that I own from HSN, mainly because it's the worst thing that I have in my life, realistically, is that back pain. It's the one thing that kills my day, kills my week, you know, can kill a month sometimes, and I can't figure out, I could never figure out how to get rid of it until I had this. I tried everything. I tried every possible thing. I went to chiropractors. I did acupuncture. I did all that stuff.
Yeah.
I tried everything.
Which takes time.
Well, I was looking.
Appointments.
Yeah.
It's like it's an investment.
And, you know, the chiropractor, or not the chiropractor, the acupuncturist was like $75 a visit.
know, yeah.
And she told me to come 3 times a week.
And you're
I'm like, what? I can't
oh,
do 220.
so I have to miss
and guess
work
what?
and pay that.
Insurance don't pay for that
Yeah.
acupuncture stuff. So I said, you know, I was like, forget it. when I finally found this, when I came to HSN and worked, I was so incredibly and pleasantly surprised, because I thought, man, you know, okay, is this going to work for me? And I played every sport. I mean, I've been with trainers. This is like having all that in one. It's like having a trainer, your physician, everything right there, because it does so much for you. Now,
Right.
Matt is over here, and I just want to walk over to Matt, because when you start to get really comfortable on it, which doesn't take very long. I mean, you're instantly going to love it. We'll show you how you can even go to full inversion, where you're actually upside down, which is what I do.
Yeah.
You're going to want that after a while. You're going to be like, oh my
People
gosh,
think
right, Matt?
they're afraid of it when they see it, and then they get the product and they get accustomed to being upside down. I mean, it's going to ruin roller coasters for you, because you're going to be so spatially aware upside down.
I know.
But it's like that deeper stretch in full inversion is just so amazing.
And there he goes. And this is where you're 100% right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are off that back.
Right, it actually rotates further than straight up and down, so that you're hanging free, and that's what is allowing Matt to do the stretches and exercises. And I mean, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do sit-ups, but it is the toughest sit-up on the
Thank
planet,
goodness.
because there's
I don't have to do
zero
that.
loads on your spine. Like, there is no loads on your spine. So if you have a hurt back, you can do these types of sit-ups. One of them is about equivalent to 10 on the ground.
Yeah, I know, they're rough.
They're rough. You can do inverted squats.
Yep.
But again, you don't have to do this. This is just showing some of the options that you have. I don't do this. I just go to full inversion and I hang.
I do it, I just don't do as many. No, because I don't want to show off. Frankly. You know me, Riley, you know me. But no, it shows you the way the machine will adapt to any fitness level that you're at. We get lots of professional athletes that use this, because they're like, hey, I can do inverted sit-ups, or I can do the crunches on my butt. I can pull my butt up and do all those things. People love to do that stuff.
Well, there's a very famous basketball player that just released another video showing his home gym.
Yeah.
And there's the teeter right there, because the joints are critical to athletes. They understand the role that they play in your ability to be active.
Yeah, and I think one of the most important things too is, if you're gonna hang upside down, you wanna be on a table that is the best rated, highest rated. It's not even in the same class as any other table, okay? That's what you want. You know,
Yes,
when we talk
UL
about
safety certified,
FDA registered,
the only one.
UL listed. There's so many
The
stamps
only
on
one
it.
that's 85% pre-assembled.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably the biggest deal to a lot of people, because assembly is terrible.
And when it comes to you, honestly, I was so impressed, because when I got my new one last year, more of the assembly is done than was ever done before.
Yes,
I mean, it took me 10 minutes. Just you click it in. It's very, very easy.
Well, and you have an app. So here's showing kind of some of the what you have to do.
Click.
But there's an app that is downloaded. It's 3D. It's so easy. It doesn't, you know, like if you put it in a DVD, or if you have to look at paper instructions, which we do include a DVD and paper instructions, you know, you kind of get lost. This thing, you can hit pause, you can do it, you can zoom in, you can spin it around. So there's all these ways to make what is a very simple assembly even more simple.
Yeah.
But let's talk about safety, because you brought it up. And I think it's critical, because every single other table out there that's come as a result of our success, they use the wrong steel, right? So we're gonna show you a chart, which is one of the tests that UL put together for inversion tables. We are the only brand that meets the UL standard for inversion. Now, UL does have other tests, but some of them are just, you know, very basic.
Yeah.
This is for inversion tables. And you can see the top line is us. That dotted line is what UL says is the minimum requirement. We exceeded it. That's 30,000 cycles is the minimum. We went to 40,000 cycles. Every other table failed at approximately 10% of spec value. Now that's broken or torn metal. And the reason that their product literally rips, the metal rips, because it's ordinary steel. So think about a wire coat hanger, right? You bend it back and forth, it'll eventually snap. Well, when we're inverting, we're rotating back and forth, and that creates the stress and fatigue on the metal that eventually can result in tearing. Now, if you're on the product, that's a big deal, right?
Oh gosh,
And so UL safety certification is critical. And you really experience such a difference in the smoothness of the rotation, the security you feel on it, because it doesn't jiggle, it doesn't give you, this is actually showing, that's a static load of 1,200 pounds. That's another requirement of UL. So we have a 300-pound user rate capacity, but we hold 1,200 pounds. That's a 300-pound weight that cycles 30,000 times. But everything, the ankles, everything is checked. And if the product, so what happens is some of the products will give a UL online, but it's a different standard, and they don't maintain it. So if the product doesn't have the sticker on it, that means that they're not maintaining it. And when you maintain it, it means that they come to the factory 4 times a year randomly. They don't tell us. They inspect. Are you still keeping that quality? Yes, you are. Great.
Yeah.
You know.
So you guys have done it right for so many years. That's why you've been around so long, and that's why, I mean, your dad was in aeronautical industry, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but the guy was designing aircraft and things. I mean, so you've got a machine that runs like a jet. I mean, it's unbelievable. Hey, I want to go to our phone since we've got a few minutes remaining. I want to say hi out there. We're going to go to the beautiful state of Maryland and say hello to David. David, thank you so much for calling this morning, and welcome into HSN.
Oh, good morning to you, and thank you very much.
Our pleasure, David. So tell me about your experience with your teeter table.
Okay, I've had it for 17, 18 years. I can't remember exactly. I remember it was the early 2000s.
Right.
And unbelievable, it was $2.99 with free shipping.
Yeah, it's gone up to $20 in 17 years.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. But my two things that I haven't seen you talk about too much is I definitely notice when I get on it in the morning, my left leg is a little shorter. And when I go to full inversion, I can feel a little bit more tension on my left leg. And after about 15 seconds, it goes away and it gets even with my right leg.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the realignment benefit for sure. I mean, and you're bringing up a great point. We really focus on the back, but you're talking about the hips, because that's what's changing that kind of leg length is your hips are twisted, and it helps bring that into alignment as well.
What else, David? You said you had another thing that you love about it?
I'm almost looking forward to it now, but it's kind of funny. But when I get off of it in the morning, before I've eaten or anything like that, usually within 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes, I'll start getting an urge for a bowel movement.
Well, hey, listen, we don't talk about those benefits very often.
That is, you know what? That is very true. And people with limited mobility tend to have problems with digestive issues. And it's really, so yoga, that's one of the reasons they have the headstand is your organs also are victims of gravity, and they prolapse, and putting them back in their normal spot helps everything function better. We don't talk about that a whole lot because we're focused on what the FDA has given us.
But I love that it does.
It's why yoga, one of the many reasons why yoga does it, because yoga is still compressive because you're standing on your head, but there's circulation benefits and all sorts of other benefits to being inverted.
It should be a part of everybody's life. And David, you are so great for calling us and telling us about your 17 years with your table. That's a great testimonial in and of itself.
Yes.
I'm glad you get great results. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Hey, I loved her father. He was a great salesman.
Yeah, he's on later today.
He's on later. We'll keep tuned. Thanks, David.
Bye-bye.
All right, buddy. Take care. Listen, we've got about a minute left, and I can't emphasize enough the opportunity that you have here to really get that great temporary relief of pain. If you suffer from sciatica, disc problems, I mean, the list goes on and on from the FDA that we talk about that it's registered to use for. You need to try. You have a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee where you can try it out and see if you get results. It's only $63 on your credit card to get it home. It's the best $300 you'll ever spend in your life. That's all I can say to you. You never think twice about going and getting new snow tires or tires for your car. $300 and $400 for tires. What about this? What's more important, you or your car? You. Without you, there's no driving the car.
And it's January, so you're starting out your year with the best potential and the best deal that